Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Brendan Paul, and you're watching News at 10. Our headlines tonight. Malaysia digital to boost growth of nation's digital economy. Appropriate approaches to improve students' literacy. The government has developed Malaysia Digital MD, an initiative to accelerate the growth of the nation's digital economy, driven by three key principles: flexibility, agility and relevance. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa said the initiative via MD catalytic programs, perkembangan, will function holistically in transforming Malaysia's digital economy ecosystem through three strategic priorities.
Pertama, membantu memacu adaptasi digital dalam kalangan usahawan muda, syarikat dan rakyat. Yang kedua, menyokong syarikat teknologi tempatan untuk menjadi juara Malaysia, berjaya di peringkat antarabangsa. Dan ketiga, menarik pelaburan bernilai tinggi.
When launching MD and the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation MDEC Silver Jubilee celebration in Kuala Lumpur today, the Premier said the government will initially introduce two perkembangan, namely the DE Rantau and Digital Trade programs. He said DE Rantau is a program to boost digital adoption and promote professional mobility, as well as drive tourism across the country, with the goal to establish Malaysia as the preferred digital nomad hub. While digital trade, he said, will drive e-commerce and digital adoption by businesses, facilitate cross-border trade and support data exchange between businesses to boost efficiency, accuracy and credibility of cross-sector and cross-industry transactions. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Basabri said that to ensure the impactful implementation of MD, the Cabinet has agreed for the Communications and Multimedia Ministry to establish the Malaysia Digital Coordination Committee, MDCC, which will coordinate MD's governance and operations, including awarding the MD status to companies. He also urged MDEC to create a dedicated platform for the industry players to participate continuously and give valuable feedback during MD's implementation. He said the governance and strategic implementation of MD will be coordinated at the highest levels of government, and there will be monitoring and improvements made from time to time.
Inisiatif menjelang 20. Negara perlu melahirkan lebih ramai bakat dan tenaga kerja digital yang berdaya saing, infrastruktur yang serba lengkap, dan terus memastikan keupayaan serta kapasiti negara kita kekal bertaraf dunia. Ini penting supaya kita dapat memastikan generasi masa depan mempunyai asas dan kemudahan yang diperlukan untuk terus memacu negara menjadi sebuah negara digital yang serba maju.
Lebih 2 dekad berlalu,
the Ministry of Education, MOE, is looking into appropriate teaching approaches that can be adopted to address the issue of the low literacy rate among some students in the country. Senior Education Minister Datuk Dr. Raji Didin said the matter needed to be given attention, as there were some students who were still poor at reading despite having entered secondary school.
Ini merupakan salah satu cabaran utama di mana murid masuk ke sekolah menengah masih belum boleh membaca. Sebab itu saya jelaskan tadi bahawa saya telah berbincang dengan Ketua Pengarah Pendidikan Malaysia untuk melihat apakah pendekatan yang mungkin berbeza yang kita boleh gunakan dalam konteks literasi ini bagi membolehkan pengajaran membaca itu dapat dilaksanakan dengan pendekatan yang bukan sahaja berdasarkan suku kata tetapi pendekatan yang berbeza, mungkin fonetik dan sebagainya.
The senior minister said this after officiating the 29th National Seminar on Educational Management and Leadership at the Aminuddin Baki Institute, Genting Highlands today. The operator of Kuala Lumpur-Kara KLK Expressway and East Coast Expressway Phase 1 LPT1, Ane Berhad, is expecting 2,352,000 vehicles on the highways in conjunction with Hari Raya Aidiladha from 8 to 11 July. Ane Berhad Senior General Manager Radzima Mohammad Radzi said, in view of the traffic volume, the company is taking several measures with additional staff and personnel as preparation to activate additional lanes if necessary. She said the extra staff is also to assist in ensuring smooth traffic flow on the highways and to step up its preparedness of all facilities, including ensuring cleanliness in all laybys and rest areas. Ane Berhad is also proposing several journey via its suggested travel schedule for the comfort of highway users. Among the proposed journeys are on 8 and 9 July for travellers from Kuala Lumpur and Selangor to enter the Gombak Toll Plaza between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. to Pahang and from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. for those heading to Terengganu and Kelantan. Meanwhile, travellers to all destinations are free to use the highway from 12 midnight to 6 a.m. Coming up next, authorities to ensure no leakage of subsidised cooking oil. Stay with us. The government has instructed law enforcers to conduct raids on manufacturers and repackaging companies or repackers right to the country's borders to ensure no misappropriation of subsidized cooking oil. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Semasa Yaakob said the raids, which would be conducted by the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, KBDN-HEP, Royal Malaysia Police, PDRM, and the Armed Forces, aimed at ensuring this year's 4 billion ringgit cooking oil subsidies would not leak at any level of the supply chain. In a statement today, the Premier said stern actions, including revocation of license and quota given to the manufacturers and repackers, will be taken in an effort to tackle leakage in the supply of subsidized packet cooking oil. He added that comprehensive audits and legalization operations would also be conducted, involving 22 manufacturers and 305 repackers of subsidized cooking oil operating across the country. The operations aim at finding out the actual status on the number of cooking oil in packets produced by the manufacturers and repackers, as well as the information on the recipients of the subsidized cooking oil. The newly launched Geotanaman and Geotanih systems can help farmers to strengthen the national food chain, especially by making the food crop subsector more efficient and sustainable to reduce the impact of food crisis. As such, Agriculture and Food Industries Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Ronald Kiandi called on industry players to make full use of the two systems, which were developed by the Agriculture Department for more efficient agricultural development planning. Speaking at the launch of the two systems today, he said the system would benefit farmers and wholesalers in planning agricultural productivity according to demand and supply, and opening up market space for the full benefit of industry players. Datuk Seri Ronald's speech was read out by the Ministry's Deputy Secretary-General, Policy, Azhar Hanim Ahmad. Also present was Agriculture Department Director-General, Dato' Zahimi Hassan.
Kita lebih kepada untuk memudahkan pengeluar-pengeluar ini dapat ditemukan dengan pemasar-pemasar yang kita ni lah. Cuma kita bukan kita nak lebih mempercepatkan pergerakan bahan-bahan tanaman dan petani mendapat harga yang lebih baik. Jadi pengguna dapat sayur-sayuran yang lebih segar, lebih berkhasiat lah.
Dato' Zahimi added that with these two systems, the efficiency of service delivery to the target group can be improved with accurate and authentic information and data. And in other news, a 62-year-old man from Kuala Nerang, Kedah, who was part of the Malaysian pilgrimage group, has passed away in the Holy City. The matter was announced by Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Religious Affairs, Dato' Idris Ahmad, who said the man had suffered serious bacterial infections and breathed his last at the King Faisal Hospital on 25th June. According to Dato' Idris, 16 Malaysian pilgrims were receiving treatment at the Tabung Haji TH treatment centres in Bakar, while 3 others were in Saudi hospitals.
Dan saya dimaklumkan, malahan doktor-doktor kita telah pun pergi ziarah bilik ke bilik. Ini satu perkara yang orang lain tak buat, kita buat. Kita sendiri yang cari pelanggan nak memastikan supaya jamaah Malaysia ini, jamaah haji kita yang fit dari segi kesihatan.
In another development, the minister reminded all pilgrims to always comply with the rules and regulations set by the Saudi government and to adhere to all instructions given by TH staff. At the same time, he said the pilgrims were also advised to take care of themselves and not to be too exposed to hot weather, which can cause heat stroke. Some 262.3 million ringgit worth of drugs have been seized by the Bukit Aman Narcotics Crime Investigation Department (NCID) since January. Police Secretary Deputy Commissioner Dato' Norsia Muhammad Sa'aduddin said the haul consisted of 10,464 kilograms of various drugs, 2,394.91 litres of drugs in liquid form, 69,132 kilograms of ketum leaves and 44,809 litres of ketum water for the first 6 months of the year. Elaborating further through a release statement, Dato' Nur Sia said during the same period last year, some 683.3 million ringgit worth of drugs were seized. She also said that the number of arrests increased. However, with 81,706 suspects held for various drug-related offences from January to June, against 66,889 in the same period last year. The NCID also seized 79.2 million ringgit worth of assets belonging to syndicates this year, while during the same period last year, 87.6 million ringgit of assets were seized. Dato' Norsia added that 995 people were detained under the Special Preventive Measures (LLPK) this year, compared to 575 last year, and 6 drug processing labs were raided and 18 people were arrested this year. The police secretary further noted that the NCID will continue to combat the drug menace and urged those with information to contact the NCID hotline. On another note, the Royal Malaysia Police (PDRM) has confirmed that there were no cases of children being kidnapped in Malaysia for organ harvesting in a neighbouring country. Bukit Aman, through a release statement today, said a message now making its rounds on several social media platforms is actually from a case of fake news in 2017. PDRM Corporate Communication Head, Assistant Commissioner of Police (ACP) Iskandar Guru said police had not received any reports of kidnapping and sale of children's organs as alleged. He said the fake message alleged that a group of children were given prohibited substances which rendered them speechless before they were transported in poultry lorries to a neighbouring country for organ transplantation. ACP Iskandar Guru added that any individuals caught sharing fake news could be charged with improper use of network facilities under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1988. Police arrested a 24-year-old man who was found riding a motorcycle naked in Permas Jaya, Johor Bahru today, just hours after he was suspected of killing his wife and 3-month-old baby. The tragic incident unfolded when locals in Jalan Dewasa, Kampung Bakar Batu, discovered the bodies of the suspect's wife, aged 26, and their 3-month-old son at the house entrance. The wife's father, who was alerted by family members, rushed to the scene only to find his daughter's bloodied body sprawled at the front door and his grandson held by a nurse. Meanwhile, South Johor Bahru Police Chief ACP Raup Slamat in a statement said, during the arrest, police seized a cleaver from the suspect. Police were alerted of the incident at 12:42 p.m., he said, adding that the case was being investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. He said the suspect would be brought to the Johor Bahru Magistrates Court tomorrow to get a remand order. An unemployed man was charged at the Klang Magistrates Court today with murdering his girlfriend at his house last month. Lee Wei Shen, 24, nodded when the charge was read out to him before Magistrate Amirul Ashraf Abdul Rashid. However, no plea was recorded as murder cases come under the jurisdiction of the High Court. Lee was charged with killing a 16-year-old girl at a house in Kampung Idaman, Port Klang at 3:40 a.m. on 26 June. The charge framed under Section 302 of the Penal Code provides for the death sentence upon conviction. The court set 7 September for mention of the case to obtain chemical, toxicology, autopsy and forensic reports. Deputy Public Prosecutor Nurul Janah Aimi appeared for the prosecution, while the accused was unrepresented. The media previously reported that a 16-year-old student was believed to have been killed by her boyfriend at the man's house in Kampung Idaman. And in local football, Sabah FC continue to put pressure on Super League leaders Johor Darul Ta'zim JDT in the hunt for the championship crown after recording a 1-0 victory over Negeri Sembilan FC at the Tuanku Abdul Rahman Stadium in Paroi last night. Negeri Sembilan FC attempted to score a goal in the 6th minute through Mateus Alves, but his shot was saved by the visitors' goalkeeper Khairul Fahmi Chemat. South Korean import Park Tae-soo emerged the hero of the Rhino squad when he headed in a long-range free kick from Jackson de Souza in the 62nd minute to bag the 3 points. Dato' Ong Kim Swee's men have now extended their unbeaten record to 5 matches with a total of 22 points and have 2 games in hand over third place Negeri Sembilan FC. The 3 points cemented Sabah FC's second place in the Super League table. Negeri Sembilan FC have got 20 points after 12 matches, while JDT, with only 9 matches played, have 23 points. Meanwhile, Terengganu FC TFC beat Sri Pahang FC 2-0 in another Super League match at the Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin Stadium in Kuala Nerus, Terengganu. Muhammad Nafuzi, Mohammad Zain's Chargers started well as they took the lead in the first minute through Liberian import striker Kepa Sherman. Tok Gajah's squad came close to equalising 4 minutes later, but Kevin Ingresso's free kick was slightly off target. National team winger Muhammad Faisal Abdul Halim put in the second for TFC through a penalty kick in the 80th minute after he was brought down in the box. Although Sri Pahang FC closed the gap in the 86th minute through Abdul Malik Mat Arif, it was the 3rd consecutive defeat and 7th defeat in 11 matches for Christoph Gamels' side. The victory was TFC's 4th win in 8 games, and the team are now in 5th place with 13 points, while Sri Pahang FC are in 11th place with 8 points. And that's it from us this evening in our top story, appropriate approaches to improve students' literacy. Join us for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. Till then, it's lights out. I'm Brendan LaPaul. Thanks for watching.